Thank you and congratulations to each of you, and thank you for agreeing to serve your association and your profession in this important capacity. At this time, I would like to present your new president, Rosa Naccarato.
Thank you so much. Holly, I don't know where to begin to thank you for your service to this board. Truly, she's been an outstanding leader this last year. I wouldn't even be able to begin to tell you all the behind the scenes things that go on. Emails at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, just the absolute immense amount of energy that she's put into this association, and her time and her effort, and every bit of it comes from the heart. She truly cares about each and every one of you. She's done a phenomenal job leading us, and I don't know how I'm going to follow that, but I will do my best. So thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. And with that, I would love to present you, it's my privilege to present you with this wonderful plaque and gavel, so you get your own gavel to keep from here on in.
Okay,
And thank you once again for your outstanding service. And also, wait, no, we're not done. And your president's pin, which you have so greatly earned. So if I may have the privilege of pinning you, I will do that as long as I don't drop it. Okay. Very good. Congratulations, immediate past president.
Thanks, Rosa.
I oftentimes say past is my favorite four-letter word. So, with that, again, thank you for the honor to be your new FCRA president. It is a great privilege to stand before this room of extremely exceptionally talented people. The skill that each and every one of you possess is truly a talent. It's akin to an artist or a musician. It is not just a skill, it is not just a profession, and it's something that so many people cannot achieve. I don't need to remind you how many students you started with and how few of you ended up. So again, I salute you for possessing an incredible talent. You know, people are always fascinated by a profession. All you have to do is mention that you're a court reporter and the questions start. Oh, you know, I've always wondered, how do you use that little machine? And how do you know what keys to press? There's no letters. And what do you do if somebody drops something, if you miss something? And what do you do if you can't hear? You know, I've always wondered how you do that job. Nobody says that about lawyers. Nobody says that about doctors. Nobody says that about accountants. When I came back from convention last year, one of my good friends asked me, so how many court reporters were there? And I said, oh, about good 200 or so. She said, 200 court reporters in one room? That's cool. And I thought, wow, again, nobody says that about a convention of doctors. Nobody says that about a convention of lawyers. But yet everybody thinks what we do is cool. And in fact, that's what brought me to this profession. When I was 14 years old, a very serious incident happened on our property and someone was killed, and my parents were sued under their homeowner's insurance. And I happened to witness the entire incident, so I had to give a deposition. I was 14 years old, went to downtown Miami with my mom and dad, and you know, here I'm in a room with about 6 or 8 lawyers and being questioned by all of them, and occasional outbursts of objections would happen, a little fight here and there. They'd be getting along 5 minutes later. And I'm watching this guy just sit there on this little machine, cool as a cucumber, just writing everything that's going on, and no reaction, no response. And then when we went on a break, I got up and I kind of like peered over at the machine, and I'm like, what is that? Here are these letters that mean absolutely nothing to me. And I thought at that moment, wow, what a cool job. This guy gets to sit here and listen to everything and be in the mix, and you know, I just thought that was really a cool job. So here I am, 38 years later. And in fact, tomorrow is the actual 33rd year anniversary of the day I took my first deposition, June 14th, 1982. So it's truly an awesome feeling to have come full circle like this and to be standing here now as your president. I cannot tell you how much that means to me and how seriously I do take this position. So here I am, 33 years later, and I still love this profession. I am still learning new things, and I'm still impressed by what we do. Court reporting is still challenging. All you have to do is join a few Facebook pages and you know, every day something pops up new on the record that court reporters never experienced before, and the posts start flying, you know, and 3 days later, the reporter already got the job out, but they're still talking about should it be a comma or a semicolon. Only court reporters can debate punctuation for days and days and days. But that's because we care and we want to do it right. We want to be perfect at what we do. So it's amazing what we do every day and how nobody's been able to replace us. Much as they might try, you still can't replace what a court reporter does. And did you know that the first American shorthand machine was invented in 1879 by a gentleman named Miles Bartholomew? Then, in 1933, the direct ancestor of the machine we use today was invented by Wardstone, Ireland. I know you've all heard that name. And since 1933 to this day, Stenograph continues to use the Ireland keyboard on their machines. So imagine, it's been 3/4 of a century, and they still can't replace our methodology with technology. Let's think about how many things have evolved over the last 75, it's actually 82 years, and they still can't replace us. So our profession is still relevant, and it's still very much in demand, if you're good at it. So today you heard Christina Llewellyn talk about our industry outlook, and the future is bright, but we still have to stay relevant by continuing to sharpen our skills, honing our skills. Which brings me to the theme of our convention, find your groove. What can you do better to increase your value? You may be doing a good job, but are you doing the best possible job? So what can you do? Is it updating your software? Is it finding out all the things your software can do that you didn't know it could do? Is it taking a class about how to make better briefs, how to get out a better rough draft? Is it becoming an RPR or an FPR if you're not one already? Is it moving closer to learning real time? That's my personal goal. And since our last convention, I signed up for a few classes with Gail Hardiman. I attended a course about how to make better briefs and briefs you can remember and how to produce a quick rough draft. And I cannot tell you how much my writing has improved, how my fatigue has been reduced, and my production has actually gone up. And my only regret is it took me 33 years to learn something more. I really wish I had done it a long time ago, but it's never too late. So I think sometimes as reporters, we become very complacent, we get caught up in our day-to-day, we focus on what's right in front of us, and we just really don't look down the road a little bit. But in order to stay relevant, we must. There is hardly a profession out there that exists that doesn't require continuing education. And yet we've been kind of flying under the radar for a lot of years. There's really been nothing that's been expected of us. And yet, what makes us so exceptional? There's not one profession that hasn't been affected by technology. So we've had our issues, but again, think of all the things that have been replaced by technology, and we're still standing. So, and I oftentimes say, you know, I spent the last 2 years as membership chair and traipsing across the state and trying to figure out, you know, how do I drum up membership? How do I get people to get on board? And it finally dawned on me, there is no secret formula. It's grassroots. It's getting each and every one of you to help me bring in just one new member. If we have 180 people in this room, I could not bring in 180 people in 2 years, try as I might. And yet, if each and every one of you could really make a concerted effort, just one member, just one. And then if next year we did it again, we would have 1,000 members in no time. Right now we struggle to keep 585, and that's really sad, knowing how many people there are out there who are doing what we do, and we just haven't been able to bring them in. You've got to have friends. You've got to have people in this business that you can go to. It's just a question of how much effort are we willing to make. And I know the first question is, oh, well, what's in it for me? If I join FCRA, what is FCRA doing for me? And your answer has to be, what are you doing for the profession? The profession has been good to you. I know if court reporting was abolished tomorrow, I don't know what I would do to make the same amount of money I'm making now, have the flexibility, have a job that I enjoy, challenging, no 2 days are alike. That's worth protecting. And that's the message you have to impart on your colleagues. It's not about what can be done for me. It's what can I do to give back. It's time to perform a selfless act. If they don't think this membership is strong enough, maybe they're part of the reason that it's not strong enough. And you've got to work hard to convey that message. So now the question becomes, are you willing to make that effort to help us build this association? When I was out doing my little talks, I would say, you know, would you go to a doctor who didn't want to be a member of his medical association, didn't want to know what the latest medications are on the market, doesn't want to know anything about new equipment, or a CPA who refuses to use accounting software? Nope, I just want to do it the way I've been doing it for 20 years. Don't teach me something new. I'm going to do it longhand. I don't care if my colleague over there is getting out 5 times the returns that I am. I'm going to do it just like I've been doing it for 20 years. Would you go to that CPA? Would you recommend him to your friends? And I will guarantee you, his colleague who is using software is making a lot more money. So it's just a question of what are you willing to put in? I oftentimes say cheap is expensive. So I could not say it better, as was printed in our program. In order to remain relevant, we need to continue honing our skills. We have to be willing to make an effort, and we must continue to take pride in our profession. It's our responsibility to represent this profession well because it's an investment in our future. You are the face of court reporting. You are the ground troops. You are the people out there each and every day interacting with lawyers, interacting with judges, showing them exactly what we can do. It's not the 10 people who sit up here on this board. You are the FCRA. And again, you are the face of this profession. And we all know that competent stenos are very much in demand. There is still no methodology that even comes close to doing everything that a court reporter can do. And yet sometimes we still feel threatened. As you know, the FCRA is working very hard to safeguard our profession by pursuing our goal of certification. And you heard a lot about that from Holly, and you'll hear a little bit more at our IE. And some folks say we need to stop talking about it, we need to start doing. And that's where you come in. We need you to help us build this association. Help us demonstrate the number of jobs affected. Help us put those names on paper so that we can go to Tallahassee. So Marty can go to Tallahassee and say, look, we're talking about 2,000 jobs. We're talking about 3,000 jobs. Because those are the numbers they want to hear in Tallahassee. They don't want to hear, well, you know, we got 560 members, but we think there's 3,000 court reporters in Florida. Because let's face it, it boils down to revenue. So are they going to make all this effort for 500 people? Or are they going to make this effort for 4,000? It makes a difference to the state. And again, economics. If they're going to spend the money and spend the time, they want to know they're going to get licensing back from about 3,000 or 4,000 people, not 500. So if certification is important to you, then you have a responsibility here. You need to help us grow this association. We have expectations every day. We have expectations from our government, from our family, from our employers, and you all have expectations from this board. So now the question becomes, what can we expect from you? How are you going to help us? What are you going to do for this association? Are you willing to make a concerted effort to enroll a friend or two? And I told you, when they ask, what's in it for me, you tell them, what have you done for the profession? Has the profession been good to you? Is it time to give something back and perform a selfless act? I know that since I've been a member, I've brought in 4 of my friends, my very dear friends, 3 of whom are here today. Thank you very much. Edmund, Daniel, Kathy, Marie, 4. So, anyway, I'm really happy to have them here. I know they came all this way for me, and thank you, ladies. I love you all. I love all of you, though. I really have felt the love back from this association, and it's very inspiring. It really makes you want to do more, do better, and just carry the ball and do what we can for each other. So at the end of the day, it's not about these 10 amazing, brilliant, outstanding people on this board. It's about you. It's about your future, your success, your income, and your survival. And I assure you that we, as a board, take our responsibility very seriously. We know what's expected of us. Once again, the question becomes, what can we expect from each of you? What are you willing to do for yourself? What are you willing to do for this profession? And what are you willing to do for this association? Will you learn something new? Will you join a committee? There's forms on the table, by the way. Sign up right now. Find something you like and let me know. Find your groove. So, will you visit a school and help us mentor students? Will you go to law schools with us and help us speak to law students about how to make a good record? Will you help us move closer to certification by helping us build this association? What can we expect from you? I'm very excited about what lies ahead for all of us and for what lies ahead for this association, and I truly, truly believe we can accomplish our goals if we work together. So now, go find your groove. Thank you. Oh. I'm so surprised. Thank you. Ooh, I'm glad that's over. Now it's party time. And on that note, I want to remind you not to miss the afternoon seminars. We've still got some great speakers coming up. And of course, the President's Party. You have to be at the President's Party. And a couple more very quick announcements. Right now, the 50-50 is at $450, so the winner will receive $225. Be sure you buy some more tickets for that and up that pot a little bit. And make sure you visit our exhibitors who have taken the time to be here. You saw they have some wonderful stuff available, so please take the time to do that as well. And I just wanted to remind you, I thought I had one more. I think I covered it all. The committee forms, yes, I talked about that. So please, honestly, if you are interested in serving on a committee, there are forms on the table. Have them brought back up here so that we can start putting you where you want to be, and I really look forward to working with each and every one of you. Oh, the unused dinner tickets, yes. If anybody has any party tickets that they're not going to be using tonight and would like to donate them back, please give them to the desk. The registration, or Robin over here. Robin is manning, coordinating the students, and so she would really appreciate that if you'll do that. And with that, the annual business meeting is now adjourned. Oh, almost. Sorry.
Basket in the basket room that nobody has put who donated it. It's basket number 1. We need to know who that is.
Okay, whoever is the donator of basket number 1, we need to identify you, number 1, so we can thank you. And Christy needs that information, so if you could just come see Christy if that's your basket. Okay? And with that, I now declare the meeting officially adjourned.